RENOS, how to build yourself a real estate niche operating system. What are RENOS? They are niche-focused, multi-channel marketing funnels that generate you a consistent stream of conversations that lead to closing. So we're going to jump right in here and start by talking about your niche operating system, which will give you a better idea about what this is about. So a niche operating statement might go something like, I specialize in helping prospect avatar, so a specific type of prospect, buy, sell, or invest in a specific property type. So on the left side of the table there, you'll see first-time home buyers, downsizers, upsizers, executives, and investors as prospect avatars. And then you'll see the property types that are matched to each of them. So let's say I specialize in helping executives buy, sell, or invest luxury homes in, and we're missing one other element here on this slide, a specific geographic area, which almost goes without saying in real estate. So I specialize in helping downsizers buy master-on-main homes in Tampa, Florida. That might be your niche operating system. And when you start there, you give your business a focus that a lot of your competitors don't have, and you set the stage for you to become the owner of that niche or the preeminent authority in that niche, if you're familiar with the strategy of preeminence from Jay Abraham. And it really sets the stage for you to focus your marketing around this niche operating system. So do that first. Pause this video if you need to. Come up with that statement. Next, let's talk about what the components are in a real estate niche operating system. And we have four main components here. We have our lead magnets, we have our automated follow-ups, we have our traffic sources, and then we have conversation catalysts. And you can see the little chart there in the purple box kind of shows how this all flows along the way. And under each of these sections, we're going to have a number of specific tactics and strategies and tools that we're going to use to implement. So let's talk about these right now, starting with our lead magnets. Lead magnets are assets that prospects will trade contact info for. So in real estate, good lead magnets might be niche property lists. What's an example of that? Well, a niche property list might be something like, get a complete current list of starter homes priced under $300,000 in the York Suburban School District. So it's a specific list that you generate from your IDX property search that's really tailored to your specific niche. Going back to the executives looking for luxury homes, here's a complete current list of luxury homes with at least 5,000 square feet in, and then you do the city or county right there. You could also get even more specific, and you can say something like with 6-car garages for all your Porsches. You can have a little fun with this if you want to. So niche property lists are probably the easiest go-to because you don't really have to generate the content for those. You can just use the searches that are generated from a system like Bold Trail or KV Core, whatever you happen to be using. A next type of lead magnet would be text response codes. So text home value report to specific number, and then you're offering a home value report, or you can offer one of your niche property lists with a text response code. Free consultations, recorded videos and webinar trainings, live events and webinars. So if you're doing a seminar in your office, free courses. Here's a free first-time home buyer course for people who want to buy a house with as little money down in, and then city. And then special deals and discounts. This would be something like, list your house with me and I'll sell it within 30 days or I'll buy it. Something like that. So these are some core lead magnet ideas. I tried to list them kind of in the order of ease of implementation. If you're not sure what to do, start with a niche property list that applies back to your niche operating system and you'll be good to go. And then you can layer on additional magnets as time goes by. Next component of RENOS are automated follow-ups. So what these are things that happen automatically once you've traded that contact info for your lead magnet. So you have short conversation starting drip campaigns. Let's take a look at one of those. So here we are inside of a conversation starting campaign in Bold Trail, and you'll see that we have a handful of actions that happen, starting with an initial text that goes out. And let's look at this text. It says, hi, lead first name, just doing a quick follow-up. Did you end up getting the Pinellas Waterfront Homes list? Okay. Short and sweet with an expectation of reply and a quick question right there. So we start with a quick text. We do an initial email that gives the list that was requested. In this case, as you've probably figured out, it was a Pinellas Waterfront Homes list. And then it does a quick little call to action and at the end that says, hey, tell me a little about your search and I'll send you back some properties. Next, we have conversation starter number 2. So another day goes by Then we have an email asking about mortgage pre-approval. Day 4 comes by, and we try to figure out if we're dealing with a homeowner and try to get the listing. Just curious, do you own a house in Pinellas County? We have a big inventory shortage. If you're at all thinking about selling, let's talk, right? So we go through here for about a week, and we do a handful of these quick conversation starters. A quick little note, short and sweet, not a lot of words. We're not making them work too hard, and we're looking for some kind of a bite, some kind of a response. Here's a quick link to all the upcoming open houses. If there's any on this list that you'd like, let me know. That's day 5. And then on day 7, we say, hi, just checking to see if you've been getting the real estate listing email updates I've been sending. If you'd like for me to change the criteria, let me know. So I'm going to talk more about that specific item in a minute, but the context here is that alongside our conversation starting campaign, we're also going to be sending property alerts. So hopping back into our slides, we see that number 2 is automated property alerts. And in the Bold Trail system and a lot of other systems, we have the ability to say, hey, when this person comes in as a waterfront lead for my waterfront niche, I want to send them all the waterfront homes in the area automatically. In this particular case, we've looked for the waterfront hashtag and said anytime that hashtag comes in, send all the condos, single family, and townhomes with the waterfront criteria daily to anybody who comes in here. So our second component in automated follow-ups are those automated property alerts. So these first 2 alone will get somebody talking to you in a lot of cases within a week. We ran a lot of leads down in Pinellas County in Florida through this, thousands. It was probably about 6,000 or 7,000 leads, and had an overall rate of about 32% who replied to these between about 2021 and 2024, just to give you an idea. So you see, if you just do these 2 things, short conversation starting drip campaigns and automated property alerts, your leads will at least be hearing from you consistently for the first week with questions that get them to engage with you, and then ongoing with automated property alerts. On top of that, you can set up longer form drip campaigns. In our specific conversation starting campaign, we actually hand off to a longer form drip campaign at the end of that via tagging. You can also do more sophisticated things such as retargeting. This is an ad that Brett Furman in the Philadelphia suburbs is showing, where it's a video of him inviting people to one of his home seller workshops that are upcoming, and he gives his phone number. And this ad is showing to all of the leads that come into his funnel or visit his website, so that people can kind of engage with him further on Facebook. Of course, there are many channels you can retarget on. This is just one specific example, but a good shortcut for this is to just record a short little video, or even just run an ad with a picture of yourself, thanking people for visiting your website and giving them your cell number, a good simple formula for a retargeting ad. And then another type of automated follow-up would be automated follow-ups that your mortgage partner does. So if you have a mortgage partner who's sophisticated and they're working in your CRM system, or you're sharing leads in some way, allow them to follow up automatically with a lot of the same techniques from the mortgage side of things, which will give you a higher conversion rate. So you've got a few different sections of automated follow-ups here. Definitely make sure you have the first 2 implemented, that short conversation starting drip campaign and those automated property alerts. By the way, those conversation starters should be loaded into your Bold Trail or KV Core system if you're watching this video, and you have access there, and you can just tweak those slightly and be good to go and ready to run them. The next big component of the RENOS Real Estate Niche Operating Systems is your traffic sources. So once you have your automated follow-ups in place, you've decided on your niche operating system, and you've got lead magnets that you're offering people, now it's time to start driving traffic back through your funnel. One of the most popular right now, because it is very fast and works very well still to this day, are Facebook and Instagram pay-per-click ads. So you have lead forms, messenger ads, clicks to landers, all different criteria within those. But basically you can go run an ad on Facebook either manually for your niche, or you can use some of the options you'll find in the marketplace in Bold Trail and KV Core. Here on the screen you'll see a niche focus ad going back to our property lists idea, where it's offering a list of new construction homes priced from the mid 200Ks, a little bit of a formula there to put a number in there for the properties, and it says see a complete current list in a specific geography. So you can see the niche operating system, parts of it being implemented here with the lead magnet via a Facebook ad. And if you do this right, you can generate leads, or let's call them contacts, into your system at a pretty good rate. Let's call it, these days here in mid 2024, you can probably do between $3 and $8 a lead. $3 on the very low end, $8 on the higher end. Sometimes it might be more. So A big, popular, quick traffic source to use is Facebook and Instagram PPC. Next, we have Google PPC. That's Google pay-per-click. You can also do search and display and other modalities on Google, but the quickest is going to be their simple search pay-per-click ads, and you might do something like this. Here are 2 ads in one campaign that have run for about 3 years. They've generated, if you look over on the conversion side, about 2,000 leads at an average cost of about $10.31 per lead. And this is an idea for new construction, again, where the traffic is being driven through a bold trail or KV Core landing page offering a list of new construction homes. And you can see you can generate somebody who's with high intent, searching on Google for houses in your area, and they come through and they become a lead. One little hack here, a little pro tip, is that you're not going to bid on keywords that are specific to your niche. Instead, you're going to bid on the main keywords like homes and real estate, but use the creative in your ad to pull people into your niche who might be interested, and this works very, very well. So Google is another very effective traffic source that you can use. Our next traffic source will be direct mail. So let's take a look here. Here are a couple of postcards. This postcard offers a list of real estate deals, pre-foreclosures, fixers, price reductions, and it is offered via a QR scan. This particular card is built on thanks.io. When somebody scans the QR code, you are automatically notified of the scan, and you can trigger further automations in your CRM if you want to off this card. So you can see the niche here would be real estate deals. By the way, this particular offer works very well if you want to generate listings, because a lot of homeowners will opt into this and come into your fold off of that offer. Going back to my slides here, let's look at another example of a direct mail card, see how much a buyer might pay for your property. So if your niche is to simply farm a specific area and you have a geo-targeted farm that you're working, mail like this might work. And you could use any of the other traffic sources to generate listings following this niche operating system protocol. So just because up to this point we've talked about buyer-focused examples, keep in mind this is very much about generating listings too. And if you think about it, at least half of the people that you're showing your buyer side ads to will also have a home to sell. But enticing them with a specific property list or around the problem or the type of property they're looking to move out of or into is a very good way to get them into your fold, instead of just coming straight out and saying, hey, list with me, here's why. So that's why we're doing that here. Other traffic sources, YouTube, radio, you can do Spotify, Pandora. You can go offline, bobblehead dolls. I like to talk about this one. This is bobblehead business card holders from a company called Sanzo Specialties. You can put them in local pizza shops, something I used to personally do. Billboards, shopping carts, benches, basically anywhere you can put a landing page or a text code or your lead magnets is fair game here under the traffic sources category. Big thing to keep in mind here is that you don't want to try all this at once. Just pick one, probably head toward the top of this list, get these working really well for you, and then branch out into some of the other options you see lower down. Now at this point, we're a good part of the way through our niche operating system. We've got a lead magnet set up. We've got some automated follow-ups that will handle these leads. Now we're pushing traffic through. People are starting to come into our fold. Hopefully we're starting to generate conversations from our conversation starting campaigns. If not, our other automated follow-ups are handling things. And now what we want to do is really accelerate the results we get through this system by sending and creating manual conversation catalysts. So what are these here? You can see over on the right, we've got Lumberg talking about creating quality content and saying it would be great if you did. And you've probably heard lots of real estate coaches and just marketing people out in general saying, hey, content marketing, you've got to create content, you've got to post, you got to blog, you got to do all this other stuff, which is completely true. But as you've seen in the niche operating system build so far, you can get by and get results in this industry just by doing the first 3 parts. Your conversion rates will just be low. If you rely on internet leads, you're looking at probably 1% or less, depending on the quality of your automated follow-ups. You will get people talking to you about real estate. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that probably 80% or more of the opportunity comes from what you see on this slide. Because once people come into your fold, a lot of times they're not going to know who you are, and you need to warm them up. The automation will do some of that. But if you start to engage with real stuff and do real things along the lines of what you see here, then people will naturally start to interact and talk with you, and it's those conversations, of course, that lead to closing. So here on the list, the first one that we have is cherry picking your activity stream. This isn't content creation, but this is manually dropping into your CRM and looking at the people who are engaging on your site. So if we come in here, you can see in this particular dashboard There is lots of activity 4 minutes ago, 19 minutes ago, an hour ago. You can see all these different people searching today. And the reason they're on the site is because we've set up those conversation starting campaigns, but most importantly, we've set up automated listing alerts based on the lead magnet that they came in on. They're getting relevant listings, so they're coming back every day. Now, cherry picking the activity stream looks something like, hey, this person's on my site. I haven't talked to them yet. And why don't I reach out with an email or a call or a text and just say, hey, I noticed you were looking at this property. Maybe you would also like this property. Or, hey, I saw you looking at that property. I showed it last week. It's got an awesome kitchen. So you start to provide insight into what the person is doing and searching for it, and you start to try to generate conversations. Basically, you do what you're good at. You talk real estate with people. So cherry picking the activity stream is number one on this list because it is the easiest and most direct way to catalyze conversations from the people coming through your renos. Next, we have social posting and interacting. There is a lot more to this than a lot of people think. Social posting is not just posting a listing here and there. You probably want to have a plan for, hey, I'm going to post a deal of the day every day, or I'm going to put something related to my niche live once a week. I'm going to do a long form post about it and educate the people who are following me on social media. So social posting and interacting, I would recommend that everybody watching this go on YouTube and look for ways to get engagement on Facebook or ways to get better engagement on LinkedIn, and watch a handful of videos, because there is a lot more to this than what a lot of real estate pros are doing. But just know that you can generate lots more interaction with people if, as they come in your fold, they start to see your stuff on socials. And I left out of the slide here, you probably also want to be sending friend requests and engaging people on social media if you are going to do this part of catalyzing conversation. So social posting and interacting. Blog posts. So, of course, can you create content on a regular basis related to your niche? That might look like the new construction home of the week in Pinellas County, and you write a big blog post about your favorite floor plan or your favorite listing. Can you put a new blog post out every week? Can you do it every day? If you can, I would argue you're going to generate much better results from this than your competitors who don't. Email newsletters. That is basically every week mailing out, maybe every Friday or Saturday, an update related to your niche and some other stuff. Now, keep in mind, your email newsletter might have a lot of the same content or point to your blog posts, and all these things can work together. You can reuse a lot of what you're doing from week to week, but these are just the different types of catalysts that you might send. So blog posts, email newsletters, property of the day, property list of the week. So my property list of the week is, and then you put out a new property list that maybe is a little off to the side of your niche but related, maybe a different geography, maybe a different price range, something like that. Can you do a weekly live webinar that's related to your niche? Can you do niche open house tours, meaning, hey, I'm going to be doing an open house at this bank-owned REO Thursday morning at 10 a.m. Can you do that and then invite everybody who's come in as a lead off of your bank-owned niche, if that's what you're doing? So you could do these open house tours that are very specific to your niche. And then can you mass text a deal of the week? That's similar to the property of the day. But if you can mass text a very specific deal of the week because you think it's a good buy, you might buy it. That's a very good way to catalyze conversations. So we've walked through a lot here. I know this is a lot. This is kind of setting the framework for a lot of the content we'll be creating here on the Inside Real Estate YouTube channel, because obviously I've glanced over a lot of these components very quickly. And what we'll be doing over the coming weeks and months is drilling in a lot further into lead magnets, automated follow-ups, traffic sources, conversation catalysts. We'll be getting very specific on a lot of what I've talked about here in this 20-minute video. But just keep in mind that if you build something like this and you just take maybe the first part of each of these sections, you build one lead magnet, you make sure you have your automated property alerts and your conversation starting drip campaign going to everybody who opts into that lead magnet. You pick one traffic source to fuel the funnel. Maybe it's just Facebook. Maybe it's just one Google PPC ad. Maybe you outsource that and you go get from Marketplace. You get somebody from our team setting that up for you here at Inside Real Estate. But you just get one of those set up, and then you focus in on cherry picking, and maybe you do one blog post a week. This is a very good recipe for having probably more success than you're having right now in your real estate business, especially if you haven't already identified some kind of niche operating system that you're focused on from week to week. So that's about it. Putting this all together, you notice that I jumped in and out of the Bold Trail system as we recorded this video. If you don't already have access to Bold Trail, go ahead and request a demo today, or tell your team leader or broker to request a demo over at boldtrail.com. A lot of the tools and things and services that I've mentioned occur within the real estate growth engine that is Bold Trail. Definitely make sure you follow InsideRealEstate.com/YouTube and give a subscribe. You want to tick the notification bell so you're notified anytime we record and release more videos related to this specific RENOS methodology. And then if you want these slides, you can just go to that youshouldclick.com/RENOS and you'll just get these slides with links to the specific elements if you want to. And then I've got a little link if you want to connect with me. I'm Ryan Hartman here, the VP of Product Engagement at Inside Real Estate, and you can just connect at that URL if you want to. Thanks for watching this video about real estate niche operating systems here at Inside Real Estate.